Want to make this clear? He is denying me of spicy nuggets.
It's awkward. So we stop it!
I just want some nugs!
5-year-old?
Alright. Go ahead.
Alright, welcome back to the Healthy Mind, Healthy Body podcast. I'm Manish Sharma.
I'm Chris.
And today we're going to be talking about counting calories and more specifically counting macros.
Oh guys, I'm sorry. This is... Okay, so we're not going to know what are tracking calories. As obvious as it sounds, tracking calories are how many calories you get in per day. To find out how many calories you get in per day, you can look at the serving sizes on the labels, and you can use apps like MyFitnessPal to really track them. And just at the end of the day, it tells you what your macronutrients are, how many grams of protein you got in per day, how many carbs, how many fats. And it can give you an entire breakdown of sodium, potassium, stuff like that. And we'll just go over that stuff later. But
Alright, so first we're going to talk about finding your TDEE, which is your total daily energy expenditure, and it's essentially your calorie needs for the day, what you need to get in your body per day. So apps like MyFitnessPal, which is probably the most common way to track calories right now, are great for tracking calories, but not calculating your caloric needs. Those can be, they can be accurate, but they can also be completely off. So we recommend using the TDEE calculator, which we're going to link one down in the description, but you can honestly just Google them. Any of those will work. So typically when you're cutting or bulking, you want to be in a 200 to 500 caloric surplus or deficit. And you want to start that deficit on the smaller end around 200 for a cut, so that way you have room to increase that deficit when you start to hit a plateau. For a bulk, I usually like to do around 200-300 calories in a surplus. That way you're sticking to gaining that lean muscle without a ton of extra fat. And then you do not want to go beyond that 500 calorie caloric deficit or surplus. For the deficit, you're going to start losing a lot more muscle mass than you want. And for that surplus, if you're over that 500 mark, you're probably going to be gaining more fat than muscle, and it kind of defeats the purpose of that lean bulk.
you know, be very careful when you get the calorie calculator, because they're not always accurate. If you Google one, sometimes it's not always accurate. That's why we're going to put one in the description, which we think is pretty accurate. But again, you'll have to play around with it because it's different for every person. So, you know, you have to be careful when he says, you know, don't go below 500 calories or above 500 calories, you know, around your calorie limit. If you go below, you're going into a starvation mode. I've done it. It's not fun. And you will lose a significant amount of weight, but it comes at a price.
You lose weight, not fat.
And there's a huge difference between weight and fat. Losing weight is just lowering that number on the scale. Losing fat is getting rid of the stuff that's around your midsection. And, you know, losing the proper amount that you should be losing per weight, proper amount of weight loss per week is about 1 to 2 pounds. If you go above that, you know, I'd say max 3.5, max. But scientifically, it's 1 to 2. Your first week, you're probably going to lose a lot. You could lose. My first week of like hardcore dieting ever was my sophomore year, and I lost probably 10 to 15 pounds.
I've lost 10 before.
And it's crazy. You'll be like, oh my God, this is so easy. But your second week's going to get a lot more difficult. So make sure you drink plenty of water as well, and get your calorie limit. It's going to take time, and you have to be patient. It's what matters.
Yeah, so first we're going to talk about protein needs, because that's just going to be the most important aspect when it comes to either a bulk or a cut or even maintaining. Obviously, protein is going to build that muscle for you. And on top of that, it's just going to fill you up more than carbs or fats are. They're going to make you full a little bit longer, help you stay in that deficit without feeling hungry. Also, protein increases the calories out that you actually have. That's due to that high thermic effect, which essentially boosts your metabolism, because that protein's a little bit harder to break down than what you'd see with a carb or fat. So for me, when I started my cut, I was doing about 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. So I was doing, I think, about 135, 140 grams for being at 185 at the time.
Here comes Asphalt. Pick up your food. Sean, your fries.
Thank you, Mom.
This has been. We took one cut of the pod.
Yeah,
It was quite.
we might have to
peaceful.
mix and match some of the concepts.
No, I'm saying we just let this one roll. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is
Okay.
fun.
Alright.
But go ahead and finish what you're saying.
Yeah, and then so now I'm sitting at about 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So that's I think like 125, 130 for being at about 160ish right now. And I just found that allowed me to build muscle on my cut while losing that fat. But also that a big reason that I was building muscle on my cut was because of COVID, because of quarantine. Lost a lot of muscle mass. That muscle mass that you lost when you get back in the gym is gonna get on a little bit quicker, add a little bit more, just because of that muscle memory.
You know, for me, he was saying, you know, his perfect amount of protein needs was about 0.8. And what we mean by that is if you weigh 100 pounds, for his 0.8 or 0.7, you're gonna need about 80 to 70 grams of protein per day. But for me, my body needs about 1 gram, 1.2 grams of protein per day to gain the most muscle. I found that when I was on my cut, where I was starving myself, and then I upped it later to about 1800, and I was getting about 160, 170 grams at probably about 190, 195, I noticed that I was losing a good amount of muscle, and it was not benefiting me, so I continued my cut a little more for just 10 more pounds, and I upped my protein, and then I kind of flatlined. Because when you're cutting, you're going to lose some muscle. But if you can at the very least, maintain your muscle and
You
grow
want
it
to
a little
minimize that amount of muscle loss.
Thank you. So for me, I eat about 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. And another thing is your protein quality is very important. You know, yes, chicken, lean ground beef, and lean ground turkey are amazing. And I highly recommend you put them into your diet. You know, they aren't the only options. You know, you have supplements like protein powders, protein shakes, protein cookies, protein chips. They're meant to give you a break from that lean protein. It's not an everyday thing, but if you need like protein oats, I eat protein oats every single morning. But if you can eat those eggs, chicken, turkey every day, every meal,
Good for you. More power to you.
but
Yep, and then really fruits and veggies are just going to come in because they're very low calorie, and on top of that, they're very nutrient dense, so they're going to fill you up a little bit more than like a bag of potato chips or peanut butter would, probably for less calories as well, and you're just going to be getting those daily nutrients that you probably should be getting. And then on top of that, real quick, I do just want to say, when we were talking about losing 1 to 2 pounds a week, the reason that they say that amount is a pound of fat is equivalent to about 3,500 calories. So when you're starting to push past that, you're essentially eating a 7,000 caloric deficit if you're losing 2 pounds a week. When you start going over that, that's where you run into the muscle loss issues, just simply because your body's starting to go into that starvation mode. So then it's important to realize sometimes it's okay to go over. You don't need to be perfect on your diet every single day. First, real quick, we want to address calorically dense foods versus nutrient dense food. Nutrient dense food is going to be like your lean chicken, your veggies, while your calorically dense foods are going to be peanut butter.
peanut butter is a massive one. I just want to comment, him and I used to eat spoonfuls of peanut butter on our 18-year bulks.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we did.
And milk. Milk.
A lot of milk.
I mean, almond milk, great option instead of regular milk.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, so like that peanut butter, those potato chips, those are gonna be empty calories. They're not really benefiting your nutrient needs. They're just there because you like them, and it's okay to eat those once in a while, but that shouldn't be the sustainable diet that you want. And there's a couple different times when it's actually okay to go over your caloric limit. And one reason for that is shooting up your metabolism. You want that to spike that metabolism back up, and that can be done through like refeed or recomp. Refeed is going to be when you, like for a day or two, we usually do both weekend days, you're upping your calories, so that way you're increasing that metabolism back up. Your metabolism is like, oh, I'm going to work a little bit harder again, and that way during that next week, your caloric deficit actually works and you're losing that fat.
You know, for him and I, something that we do is because him and I are both like, for me, I'm actually at my goal. I'm at exactly
Alright, so we essentially just lost some footage, so we're gonna kind of just pick up towards where we kind of cut out. So the differences between not being consistent and living your life, that's a completely different thing. Not being consistent is when you're consistently not hitting the calories you're shooting for, going out and getting that burrito every single day. Living your life is going out and getting that burrito once, twice, 3 times a week. Really making sure that it's around your calories that you're shooting for. Whether you go over 100, under 100, over 150, 200, that's not going to make a major difference. Yeah, if you want to lose fat as fast as possible, I would tell you to stick to it to a T as much as possible. But for the average person, not a big deal to go over, under a little bit here and there.
Like for him and I, we live our life. You know, we track, but we live our life. We will have the majority of our days, you know, whether that be 4 days, whether that be 5 days, sometimes it may be 3 days, we'll have perfect days. But, I mean, for the majority, we're living our life. Where I'm not going to be afraid to go out. Last night, went to Ann Arbor, got ice cream. Tonight, gonna go get more Wendy's. I think I already said that, don't really know, lost content.
Because it's Wendy's is closed now.
Dang it.
But it's really just a mental toughness, mental strength ordeal. You're gonna have to find out what works for you. It's different for everybody. For me, it's like, yeah, let's have this perfect day so we can have a little bit more fun on the weekend. Or we'll get this burrito today, but let's make sure it's somewhat within our calorie needs.
Low breakfast, high dinner.
Exactly.
And then maybe
it's just shuffling the calories around. Like if you usually eat like let's say I'm at 1,700 calories right now. If you usually eat like a 700 calorie and like 1,000 calorie meal, yeah, maybe just do like a 300-400 calorie meal and then do like that 1,300 calorie burrito at the end of the day or something like that.
Great point. I mean, make it sustainable for you because.
And we don't know what that is for you.
Yeah.
As much as I would love to get on here and be like, this is what you need to do for every single person. Every person's body's different.
Like, we can talk to you about it. You know, DM us, text us.
And we would love to help you. We'd love to help you try and figure it out.
Give you what we know. Because we, you know, again, we don't know
we
everything.
know what works for us.
But we can help, you know, as best as we can because we know some things. You know, we both lost good weight. We both have gained good muscle. So I think that, you know, asking us questions, you know, we're not at our goal, but we're working
striving.
towards it.
We're striving towards it.
You know, I've seen a lot of growth in me even since our first pod. I've seen a lot of growth in him, and I think that, you know, us being able to help you would mean the world to me because that's what we're trying to do.
To us, in all honesty.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, seriously.
Good. No, I get what you mean.
Well, we just want, you know, again, we may not get the most views, we may not get the most subscribers, but if we help one of you reach any sort of weight loss, that's going to mean the world to us. It really is.
And let us know if we're helping you. That'd be great to hear.
Oh my God.
That'd be great to hear. Real quick, I do want to touch on like trial and error is going to be your best friend. Like you're going to get on that TDEE calculator. It's going to give you a certain amount of calories. It's going to be a good estimate, but it's an estimate. You got to figure out what exactly works for you. So yeah, like after a week or two, like let's say you're trying to lose weight and you lost maybe half a pound in like
a week.
A week. You know you can probably decrease your calories a little bit more. At that point, I'd probably say cut them like 200-300, and then play it out for a week or two, see how that works, and then you can always build off of that. If you're gaining weight, you definitely know you need to cut some calories, or maybe you need to rearrange your macros. That's a huge thing. Is like making sure you're getting in that protein amount. I would tell most people to start with like 0.9 grams per pound of body weight.
Yeah,
and then go up or down depending on what you're seeing in the gym, what you're seeing with your diet.
And we can't make that for you. We really can't. It will take you time to clear out your cabinet, clear out your pantry, your fridge, get rid of those, you know, bad choices and fill them with the good choices.
It makes it way easier when you start doing that. When you don't have those bad things in your house to be like, oh yeah, let's just eat those. When you get to like our point, it's okay to have those, I think, because we understand
how we're going to incorporate them, why we would incorporate them. It's going to take, like we're at the point where we're past our significant weight loss goals.
Yeah.
We're not at our goals, but we're past our significant weight loss goals.
Yeah.
So like for me, I've been living life a lot more. Like I've been enjoying food more, whether that be junk food or whatever, but I'm also eating significantly, you know, lean food. but I'm seeing a
And
lot
I've
of
been doing it
progress.
with them a lot.
Yes, we've been doing things that, you know, you get to the point where you can have food work for you, not against you. Like,
Correct.
we know many people who have a very high metabolism, and they have to eat a lot of calories per day. That's
They
where
wanna gain that weight.
Yes, that's where a lot of those calories can be inaccurate. So you have to find out what works for you, and you know, there's so many bulking tips that we can help. There's so many cutting tips that we can help with. So you know, like.
And go to other channels too. Like, we're not telling you that our channel is going to be the end all be all. We hope that it can help you a ton, but there's so many other guys out. Like, honestly, there's so many good fitness YouTubers out there that if you really listen to them,
They know their stuff.
they know their stuff.
We'll be there one day.
We will be there one day.
One day we're gonna throw this in a clip, and we're gonna be like, "Wow!"
We're gonna be like, look at that! Look at that!
Noobs. So, you know, I mean, again,
Thank you guys for watching.
seriously, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe and like, and
Let us know what you would want to see next on the pod.
Yes,
Let us know
please.
what you didn't or did like.
we would love to hear your harsh criticism. So,
Any feedback.
yeah,
Any feedback.
and good feedback.
Good feedback's always nice, but we know we're a new channel. We're gonna have a lot of issues. We're gonna have a lot of things that we need to improve on. So don't hesitate to.
Like, watch the last vlog.
The vlogs have improved immensely.
You know, I mean, last vlog wasn't great. I'm still learning how to edit, so I'm not great at it. But
Finally got some music in it.
well, it wasn't monetized, so we
Yeah.
gotta figure out that one. So if you know how to do that, help me.
Let us know.
So I mean, seriously, we're just trying here. We're trying to have some fun, and if we can help one person, one single person, that's gonna make our YouTube channel. That's gonna make us so happy. So,
It's the goal. That's the goal.
and our goal, just YouTube wise, is to grow at least one subscriber every video. And you know,
Not asking for much because it's not why we're doing it.
no, that's not why we're doing it, but that's our YouTube goal. But you know, anyway, guys, we can get in that for another time. But we've taken about 1 million takes of this, so we're gonna see. You know,
See you guys next time.
we're gonna see where this takes us. Anyway, thanks, guys.
Thank
Have
you
a
guys
great
for
day.
watching.